Pro Boxing fans here with Johnny Nelson. Johnny in Coventry. Not many fights have happened here in the past, but new location.
I'm trying to think. Did Frank Tate box Tony Simpson in Coventry?
That's
I think that's the only time I've been to Coventry. If it's here, I mean, it might be here, you know. We're talking back in the day, so I'm showing my age a bit, but it's all right, man. It's like we're in the university campus, nice little setup. The clouds have come on, which is a bit of a shame, but apparently it's raining in London.
Yeah, I think it is slightly, but let's talk about this card first of all. I do want to talk about probably one of Sky Sports and Boxer's main attractions that they're trying to push out there right now is Azeem, fighting on Saturday night into next part of his journey, WBC Youth title. Seeing what you've seen of Adam in this short amount of time that he's been a pro and been with Sky, what do you make of him?
So Adam, remember, I was around probably one of the UK's biggest stars in Prince Azeem Mohammed. He had razzmatazz, he could fight, he could punch, do everything. He had that front, he had cojones, and Adam, I recognise certain bits in him. I think if this guy can take this talent to a higher level and still perform, he will blow shit out of the water. Now maybe he's got to have a bit of an attitude on him, a bit of a chip on his shoulder, because that's what grabs the attentions of people like you and I. It grabs the attention of whoever there is out there. Maybe it does that. But what I see talent-wise, this guy is like something special, you know. And I think maybe as he gets older, he'll probably develop a chip on his shoulder, and maybe that'll get people to love him or loathe him. But the kid can fight, but potentially he's a proper golden goose over there.
Tough division that he's in. We'll be seeing the big boys at the top, but by the time Adam gets there, maybe they might have moved on. But even if they're there, he is in a very, very tough division, right?
He is, but it's a bit unfair to compare him to them at this stage of his career. You know, he's got to go through bumps and bruises. He's got to have ups and downs. He's got to go through tough fights. He's got to go through fights that mould him and stain him and leave a lasting impression on him. He's got to have fights that develop him and make him into a better fighter. So let's have that conversation down the line and talk about comparing him then. But to do it now, it's unfair. Them boys are chewing up right now. So give it time.
You know that boxing can be a brutal sport, especially with promoters, broadcasters, whatever else. There's also that sort of thing where a broadcaster or a promoter might want to push a fighter quicker, just because it just makes sense for that broadcaster, but maybe not for the fighter. With Adam, how would you sort of plan out his journey?
So that isn't down to the development of his journey isn't down to the broadcaster. Of course, a broadcaster will want X, Y, Z, but the development of him will be down to his coach and his manager. And his coach will know what he's capable of doing. His manager will know what strings he can pull to get him into a position. So it's not, the onus isn't on your Skies and your Zone. They can give you the opportunity, and he might slightly try and put you under pressure and say, look, we can get this fight, do you want it? But that responsibility is down to his coach, down to his management team, and they're the ones that have got to be real with him. They're the ones that to say, look, not yet, son. You know what I would do? I'd get him to spar with the best now. Get him out there to spar with those boys, just so he knows what it's like to be in their presence, just so he knows what it's like to, what AJ did when he used to be a sparring partner for Klitschko. Now professionals at the top work. That's what I did, because once you've done that, then you think, right, you know what, it's all doable. Right now, it's just a pipe dream thing, can I, can't I? So that's what I do to help develop him. It's not just what we see in the ring when he fights, it's all the stuff in the background. That's the most important about his development.
I'm bringing him out to different parts of the UK. It's something that we saw with AJ. He fought in Newcastle, Birmingham. You took him around the UK. Is it just to build up that support, build up the fan base? At
this point, this is 10% of his development. Okay. When he gets out and fights in Newcastle's Coventry, that's 10% at this point. The 90% of his development is what he does behind closed doors. This is the easy bit. So to bring him on, this is nothing. But he's got to make sure he puts the work in to expect the results.
Just do want to move on from the squad. We've got a lot of great fights. Sky seems to be picking up a few Olympians. We've got Karis, who's going to be fighting on Saturday night as well. Before you on Saturday night, which fight stands out for you?
I'm actually interested to see Sam Egginton. It seems like he's been around forever and a day. And Sam, one thing you can guarantee with Sam Egginton is that he leaves his heart and soul in the ring. You're not going to get a boring fight with him. And my man, he's a proper crowd pleaser. And I want him to get something, pull something out of this. I know it's for the IBO title or something like that, but I want him to get something out of this. And so he can walk away and say that it's X, Y, Z. Yes, he's been in some hard fights, but he's one of a true warrior in our game. Whereas he's the kind of guy that you think, wow, God, you see him in that fight on the Undercard, but now he's topping the bill. So good for him.
Obviously, we've got Dylan Chima, who sort of brought a crowd with him last time he was involved in the tournament. So there's definitely something. I think that there is something going on between Azeem and Dylan Chima. At some point, that fight could happen as well. But let's move on. Do you want to talk about news that has sort of taken the headlines recently? Anthony Joshua leaving Sky Sports, signing with DAZN. Looks like his next fight with Usyk is on DAZN. What do you make of that move? We were hearing from before and from Adam and everyone else, 99% the deal's done. All of a sudden, the fight wasn't getting announced. It was taking longer and longer. Something was brewing in the background. It seems like he signed with DAZN. Just talk to me about that.
I think what Anthony Joshua has done what's best for his career. And as an ex-fighter, I get it. I totally get it. He's thinking, you know what? I'm planning my future. You know, and that's what he's doing. I understand the Sky fans and the broadcasters are thinking, you know what? It is a shame that he's left Sky. But you know, when fighters are in tough fights, and you think, oh my God, that fight was unbelievable, and then after the career's done, and they're skinned or they're punch drunk, and you know that excitement, all that commitment you gave to your fans, it's great at the time. So what Anthony Joshua is doing, he's doing what's best for him, and we will still be able to benefit and watch him. You know, we will still love to bask in it. It's hard for us, the boxing team. Yeah, of course we're gutted, because I'd love to sit there and watch him think, yeah man, it's a great show to work on, the atmosphere, the vibe, the professionalism and everything is spot on. But we aren't. So now we can sit back, have a beer, of course have a joke and watch it, enjoy it that way. So either way, if you're an Anthony Joshua fan, you will find the fight. The problem is, it's not very often you walk in a pub and see DAZN on the TV. You know, so that's how will it affect that side of it. I don't know how it will affect that side of it. But you know what? I just think for Anthony Joshua, he has his own unique fan base. So, and this is a big fight, an interesting fight, an intriguing fight.
Do the people at Sky feel let down? Because obviously you've been around the company.
Do I feel like let down? No, but disappointed. Yeah, of course they're disappointed, but I just think it's just how it is. Of course, if he went to Sky and not to DAZN, you know, DAZN would have been disappointed. He's like the big cheese, and the reason why is because he has that crossover appeal. You know, you go to your grandmother, they'll know who he is. There's not many fighters that have got that saleability. Anthony Joshua has. So they know whoever's got him, if you do the right job in promoting him and making sure everybody knows he's fighting, they'll watch him. So of course they'll be good. That'd be a lie to say, nah, it's no big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Swallow it.
Obviously, you're a fighter. That's why I wanted to ask you instead of someone else who's affiliated with Sky, because you know the lonely journey that it is, and it's a short career. It could end at any point in regards to injuries, or anything can happen with this. So obviously he's looking out for himself. How do you see this fight playing out though? He's got Robert Garcia in his team now, added an extra coach in there. How do you feel like this one plays out?
Right. And it's not a secret that I'm an AJ fan, and I'll be realistic and real in this. And Oleksandr Usyk is an outstanding fighter. I saw this man 4 fights into his professional career as Vladimir's sparring partner, madding him up. And I said that guy's going to be the heir apparent. Anthony Joshua is going in there. This is a harder task than it was the rematch with Ruiz. It's a harder task. It's not an impossible task. Anthony Joshua needs to do what he does best. Not try and beat Usyk at what he does best, because he'll lose every day of the week. So Anthony Joshua's got to bring his rawness, his size, his aggressive, his presence to the fight. Then he wins the fight. He's got to drag him all over the place. He's got to really push it, do it that way. And he knows that. He knows, you know, I went in there, I thought, Brennan used to call it 3 smart. You know, you get some people that are too smart for you, and what you're 3 smart is you outsmart yourself. So he's thinking, I'm going to go and outbox him. You know, he got beat. at a game that wasn't his game. So now Anthony Joshua's got to go in there and be him, and he's got more chance of being him. Being the Anthony Joshua got in the ring with Dylan White, rugged, raw, have a rough edge about him. You know, even prepared to lick a man after the bell. You know, that Anthony Joshua has to turn up and, excuse my French, piss Usyk off. He needs to get under his skin. He used to make him feel uncomfortable. And I'm quite sure, I hope he knows that Anthony Joshua has a good chance of beating Oleksandr Usyk. So it's not an impossible task. Everybody's getting gas saying Usyk, you know, he's a brilliant fighter, but he's not an unbeatable fighter.
Obviously, I think Anthony Joshua said in the press conference himself that he was wrong. On the night, he was wrong. Usyk was right. I spoke to Robert Garcia. He said, listen, we are going to revert back to physicality. We are going to use some of that strengths of his to go forward. But another question in regards to that fight, has Usyk got more levels than he's shown against Anthony Joshua to basically sort of negate what Joshua's strengths are?
Well, I think, well, no. Well, number one, is Usyk bigger than Joshua? No. Is he stronger than Joshua up close and personal? I'm assuming not. Is he a bit technically better than Joshua? Yes. Has he got that roughness, that raw edge about him more than Joshua? We don't know. So there are many questions that we don't know. Can he step up? What can he step up? Will he be more agile? Because now he's had more time to settle into that heavyweight division. So now, will that movement he had as a cruiserweight, you know, while now he's put the weight on, but will he be able to keep that and sustain that? You know, now he's spent a bit more time as a heavyweight, living as a heavyweight. Will he be a better fighter than Anthony Joshua? No. Will he be a better boxer than Anthony Joshua? Yes. Anthony Joshua's got to talk this man into dancing his dance. He's got to talk him into having his kind of fight. Because if he can't, and Usyk's very good at making sure you don't do that, he's going to twist you up.
Johnny, it's always a pleasure talking to yourself. I do appreciate it. It's just started raining, man.
Not raining in Sheffield. Sun's shining in Sheffield. I'm telling you, sun always shines in Sheffield, like Miami Beach in Sheffield.
Johnny Nelson, always a pleasure to talk to you, man. Speak to you very, very soon. Top man.